Oh, well, hello, friends. Scott here. If you've been following things, you've probably seen Chris's video from Friday night, his SmackDown review, his rant. It wasn't a happy time. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. I'm here for the ECW review. I'd like to answer Chris's charges, but I don't want him to cramp my style, and I don't want to focus too much on him. Ooh, I'm sorry. Give him too much credence. Mild trimmer there. As far as Chris's little rant goes, let me say this. I have apologized to Chris. Voicemails, email. I've let him know I'm sorry for my little wrestling stunt. So for that I apologize. He's not contacted me to accept. I can't apologize, however, for his overreaction. Chris and I have been best friends, really, for quite some time. We've had the kind of friendship where we could talk about anything. So if he was ever having a problem with the way I was doing business as a review guy, he could have come to me and said something. And I would have done my best to accommodate him. However, I can't change who I am. I can't change the kind of wrestling fan I am. Goofy, irreverent, however you want to say it. And he knows that's what I am. And he knows what he was getting into when we started all of this. So he could have said something to begin with. On his charge that I don't know crap about wrestling, I'm not the wrestling fan that Chris is. I haven't been around as long as he has watching this, and I never claimed to be. I've always been very clear about that. However, in the time that I have been watching, about a year and a half now, I've been very intensely involved. I haven't been a passing observer. I've had my best pal sitting beside me, you know, filling me in on information about characters and storylines and histories and all kinds of things, making me better educated, more knowledgeable. And so I know more now thanks to him. And on my own, I've been doing a little research. I've got a good book collection in my book stack at home, if you want to call it that. I've got a growing number of wrestler books that I've been reading to educate myself more. Not because I want to, not because I want to impress Chris, but because I want to for myself. So, short of Doc Brown taking me in the DeLorean back to 1985 or back to the Attitude Era, I'm doing what I can to get better and to know more. So, and that's all anybody can ask, I would say. But at the end of the day, Chris and I are adults. Somebody pointed this out. Chris and I are grown adults. And we come on the internet, we take time out of our lives to come on the internet and make videos scrutinizing an industry in which men dress up in costumes and pretend to fight each other. Alright? Now that is in itself laughable. I love wrestling and it brings me a lot of joy at this point in my life, but it's not to be taken too seriously. So I say let's have fun with it, let's have fun with each other, let's get on with the show. How about that? ECW review. So Chris, if you're out there, I hope you're calming down, I hope you're simmering down a little bit. Because I miss you. I miss hanging out with you, and I want to see you again. So hopefully we'll be back together very soon. ECW, which I think is a wonderful show. What is today? Today is the 7th. Yes, today is the 7th. Yesterday was the 6th. So January 6th, ECW, New Orleans, Louisiana. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Little French for you. I'm sorry. I'm a little out of sorts. This throws me off. You know. I mean, I normally do the ECW alone, but Chris, just knowing that I've got bad blood, a good friend being mad at me, bugs me. So I'm sorry if I'm a little loopy, but that happens, I guess. First thing we saw, Finlay versus Jack Swagger. Okay. I still don't like Jack Swagger. I still don't like the fact that his eyes don't open all the way. I still don't like that thing he does with his arms. But I thought this was a solid match. It might have been Finlay. They might have just been because he was paired with a solid wrestler, and that made him look good. I don't know, but it was a pretty good match. Finlay looks, I always think Finlay does a great job. Get it? Job, no. And nevertheless, Swagger wins. He's apparently been the #1 contender, which I don't know that I ever heard that stated. I read it on several websites, but I don't remember them saying it on the show that he's a #1 contender. But next week we're going to see ECW title match between Matt Hardy and Jack Swagger, which I'll go ahead and talk about now in case I'm out of time. I don't think it'd be the end of the world if Swagger wins. I still don't like Swagger. I don't like him at all. Bless his heart. But I think that with the face-heel ratio, it would, I think it would be better story-wise, creatively, if Hardy would lose and kind of be the underdog, you know, trying to get back his title. I think that would work for that. So, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Any ideas? Let me know what you're thinking. Katie Lee Burchill versus Alicia Fox. Not a whole lot to mention except Katie Lee she's a tough cookie. She's a tough crumpet on the British say. Yeah, I bet Alicia Fox was kind of thinking that, gee, I didn't sign up for this. I was supposed to do I wanted to wrestle Kelly Kelly and do cartwheels and jump around and jumping jacks. No. But yeah, so Katie Lee wins. Good for Katie Lee. Boogeyman. I was watching the clock. The Swagger Finlay match ran pretty long. I was watching the clock and I said, it's time for a squash match. Came back from a commercial, out comes Boogeyman. And I think, yes, I'm finally getting the hang of this. You know, I'm always astounded by Chris's knowledge of how the wrestling thing works. But now I'm able to predict some things. I'm so happy with myself. Anyway, so Boogeyman comes out, fights a guy named Brett Barnes. Now, let me know if you know Brett Barnes. Because many of the times I come out and I say things about jobbers and I feel bad for them or whatever. And everybody says, oh no, he's a big star in Ring of Honor or in whatever. Let me know about Brett Barnes because he was a jobber that and it happens sometimes, I have an emotional attachment to them right away. And he was one, and I felt bad right away that not only was he going to lose, but he was going to have to eat worms. And he did. So, Brett, my hat's off to you, pal. If I had a hat, I would tip it for Mr. Brett Barnes. Now then, I made a note here. Actually, 2 notes. So, number 1, Raw Rebound. I've been watching Raw. We talked about it in, well, since we came back, Chris and I, but I've been watching, and man, this HBK JBL stuff, oh man, tugs at my heartstrings. What an expressive face that Heartbreak Kid has. Seriously, I think he's doing a great job with this storyline. Excited to see where that's gonna go. Ooh, another video we saw, another promo. There's this little thing coming out. Again, don't know if you heard of it. Called I wrote it down, Behind Enemy Lines Columbia, starring a Mr. Kennedy. Again, don't know if you've, this, I think, is the best kept secret in the WWE since the return of John Cena. I'm just saying. Nobody, no. Okay, time. Oh, we got a whole minute to talk about Hardy and Henry. I'm glad Hardy won. I'm glad he won for the reasons that I was hoping he would win last week. A good, solid, clean win. However, I was not as happy with this match. I don't know why. It could have been that Henry was, you know, had injuries that would happen and he was just kind of stumbling around. It wasn't as satisfying as last week's match would have been had Hardy won. However, I'm wondering, does a good win over a big guy this week herald a loss to Jack Swagger next week? Tell me what you think. I got 30 whole seconds. So I'm gonna sing, "Yeah, you ever seen a scarecrow feeling nothing but dust and weeds? Yeah, you ever seen a scarecrow, you seen me." Okay, that's about all the time we have for that. But I had to throw that in because we're having fun with the wrestling. Remember, having fun again. Okay, well, anyway, so that's our time. Chris, I hope you're feeling better. I hope to see you Friday night, and we'll have more fun then. Bye.